Milking snakes! I'm here at African Reptiles and Venom in a room full, and I mean full, of venomous animals. But why? Because we're gonna find out how antivenom is made, and this is where it starts. Milking snakes! That's just the colloquial term for venom extraction. Snakes do not possess milk. They don't drink milk from their mothers. When you milk them, you're extracting venom. It's nothing to do with milk. It's just, I don't know. Us humans are strange. Antivenom is a few mils of liquid that can bankrupt you, but also save your life. There are three main steps that goes into creating antivenom. It's a little bit more complicated, and each step has a whole lot of other steps underneath it, but let's just look at these three main ways and try and understand how antivenom is made. Maybe let's first backtrack a bit and start, like, what is antivenom?
Right, so antivenom are the antibodies that a living organism will manufacture to counteract a substance like venom. So the venom gets introduced into the living organism and antibodies will be made by the immune system.
Antivenom was first created in 1895 by a guy named Albert Calmet. He was French, and back then it was called Antivenin. That's basically why your phone always autocorrects antivenom to antivenin. He was friends with Louis Pasteur, the father of pasteurization. If you have anything to do with milk, not almond milk, not any of those nut milks, because that's not milk. Like milk from a cow, a mammal, a living mammal that breathes, not a plant, then you know what I'm talking about.
Well, if you've got a fresh horse, small quantities of venom, diluted, will be injected into the horse. And they start off weekly injections and they carry on like that, and they slowly increase the amount of venom that they use. And after about 9 months to a year, the horse is hyperimmune. That means the antibody titer cannot be increased. Doesn't matter how much more venom you're going to inject, you won't get more antibodies. So the antibody titer has reached its peak. So at that point in time, you can take that horse, put him in a room full of snakes. Those snakes can bite the horse, they won't kill him, because the horse already has all those antibodies against the snake venoms circulating in the plasma. You want to just harvest those antibodies. So the host animal makes a blood donation. So that's why they use the horse. It's a large animal with a large blood volume.
In creating the antivenom, it is basically a serum full of antibodies that attach themselves to an antigen, such as a snake's venom. But I think we first need to understand a little bit more about antibodies and antigens and how that works. Antibodies, also known as immunoglobulin. They kind of look like these little Y things created by B cells located in your bone marrow. Antibodies are made up of 4 polypeptides. Antibodies' job is to attach to proteins or antigens, such as venom in this case. So basically these antibodies attach themselves to venom and have to attach in a specific way, because this one cannot attach to this one and vice versa. Many antigens might attach to one protein, but this is a rudimentary thing, as I said. Specific lock and key that our body creates, or in this case the horse creates, in order to neutralize the venom. It's pretty cool. So take us back to the beginning. It all starts with needing venom to inject the horse.
Correct. So
that's where you come in.
Yeah, so we supply venom for antivenom manufacture. We've done this since 1999.
Okay, so what snake are we starting with here, Uncle Mike?
We're going to start with a puff adder. These are very, very common snakes in sub-Saharan Africa. They cause a lot of snake bites because they are lazy, they don't move. Most snakes will move out of your way, but this snake, the lazy guy, is not going to move, and then people step on the snake and get bitten by it. Right, so what we do is just bring the snake to the edge of the beaker. You can see there, that snake meant that it was not a happy snake. And I think it's released all its venom on that bite. There's no venom for me to massage out of the glands. You can see what those fangs look like. Hypodermic needles.
So then SAVP will go and take that venom, dilute it, or just inject small quantities?
It depends on where in the process they are. If they have a unimmunized horse, they'll start with small quantities, very diluted, and then build it up from there. You see the same with the guys that do self-immunization. When they start with self-immunization, they'll take 1 cc of venom into 1,000 cc's of saline. Right, and then they just use a very small quantity of that to do self-immunization for a month. And then they kick it up. They put more venom in.
So why can't we use humans then?
Nobody volunteers their mother-in-law.
Yeah, I don't think we should be doing that. So we know horses are involved in creating our antivenom. So it's a horse product. And injecting that into humans can have association with anaphylaxis or an allergic reaction. So why don't we use those people who do self-immunization then? Might be a little bit more complicated than that.
There are pros and cons. The first is body size. There will also be lots of ethical considerations. Who's going to volunteer to become an antibody factory? The other consideration is disease. If you use a host animal like a horse, you're not going to transfer those diseases to humans. Whereas if you use humans, you could transfer disease from one human to another. So, and also, I think the main reason will be the body size. If you take average horse, you can produce 500 ampules of antivenom a year from one horse. I don't know how much you'll get from a human being, but it's going to be a lot less.
Yes. This is definitely one of my favorite snakes. Well, my favorite mamba, should I say.
Right, so this is the green mamba, eastern green mamba. Beautiful snake.
And as you can see, these snakes are not like even that skittish. They're not tortured or terrorized. They donate their venom once a month. See, so as you can see there, the snake is still able to breathe perfectly fine. And
see the windpipe in the throat, the mouth opening and closing there.
The glottis. We're not going to stick our fingers in to show you.
Come on, right? A bit reluctant to bite. There we go. Just a tap on the nose and the mouth closes, and you can see how the venom is squirting down the side of the beaker. I'm just going to get the muscles on the glands to relax a bit. Snake is still tense. Just rub them a little bit like this. Give them a little squeeze. Yeah, the snake has given me all the venom. Yeah.
So does that tap hurt them? Is the question people will ask.
It doesn't hurt them at all. It just gives me the reaction I need from the snake, so it bites. And then we get the venom to squirt. You can see the mouth is pink.
There's no damage inside of the mouth. The snake is fine, guys. If you're enjoying this and really want to listen to the full-length conversation I had with Mike Perry, the link will be down below to a Patreon account where you can support me out and get access to that. Now, to create the antivenom, they use horses. I know that's a zebra, or zebra. It's a zebra. Why they do this is because it's a large animal with a large volume of blood. Also a very trainable animal because it's intelligent, so much easier to work with than something like a cow, which is totally possible. Some parts of the world to use camels. You can basically use any animal. There's nothing special specifically about horses. The reason we use horses is as I said, it's good and it's convenient. What they do is they take about a year to immunize this horse against venoms. Like Uncle Mike said, you can either use multiple horses, each having one venom, or one horse having all the different venoms, slowly building up their antibody titer within the horse. How they do that is by taking very small amounts of venom and injecting it into the horse, whether that's diluted or not.
There's two ways to make the polyvalent. You can use all 10 venoms in each horse, or you can use 10 different horses. One horse will get just Runkel's venom, second horse will just get puff adder venom, third horse gaboon adder venom, etc. All right, and then once you get the plasma, you then mix it. All right, so that's the other way of doing a polyvalent.
But small quantities until, in a very controlled environment, until the horse takes about a year, is able to take what is called a lethal dose of venom. At this point, the blood of the horse gets drained. Not everything, don't worry. The horse or zebra will be okay.
The horses will receive 10 venom injections. They get 3 on a Monday, 4 on a Wednesday, and 3 on a Friday. So that makes 10. All right, and then the next week they get 10 also. This is now when they're on maintenance. Maintenance means you've gone through the whole process, you've gone to 9 or 12 months, and the horse is now hyperimmune. Then the horse makes a blood donation. Then the horse gets a 6-week rest period. And then he gets injected for 2 weeks intensively.
And then the blood is separated from the plasma. Well, the red blood cells from the plasma. You know, if you draw blood and it kind of separates and there's that like clear liquid stuff on top, that's the plasma. Inside the plasma is where you find all the antibodies. So they take that. Once they have the plasma, they will add heat and other chemicals and filtration and different things in order to create antivenom. This process remains much of a trade secret depending on the manufacturer. Different companies and different manufacturers do different things in order to have better results, more efficacy with antivenom, because it's remained much the same since it was first created in 1895 by Dr. Albert Calmette himself. This is the infamous, highly overrated black mamba. They are not the deadliest snake in the world.
All right, so you can see, if you come over here, you can see this mamba's mouth, how it's opening it, giving you that black feature.
And why is that?
It's just a threat behavior. Shows you that dark mouth. You think, gee, yes, you get out of here.
Because it's actually scared right now.
The snake is scared, yeah.
It's not wanting to chase you.
No, not at all, no.
That is a chunky mamba.
Okay, he's not happy, he's hissing at me. I'm just going to secure the head as soon as possible now.
You need me to hold the body?
No, it's fine. Okay, so, just you can see the size. The snake is a lot bigger than the previous snake. Just gently keep the tail on the ground there.
He's not standing on the snake, don't worry.
There's a big bite. Okay.
Now, is this your favorite snake?
It is, yeah.
Why is it your favorite snake, Uncle Mike?
Because they're so, how can I say, so much rubbish spoken about them.